Let's get to it. How did people survive in the Purge movies? The Purge movies. People survive the 12-hour annual lawless period by using high-end home security systems, hiding in fortified shelters, fleeing the country, or fighting back with weapons. Wealthy citizens buy expensive steel shutters and surveillance, while lower income communities band together to form armed neighborhood watches and community defense groups. Wealth in home fortification. Steel shutters and locks. Rich families seal their homes with heavy-duty metal window coverings and electronic security grids to keep out roving gangs. Leaving the zone. Those who can afford it travel out the country or stay in a heavily guarded private retreats until the 12 hours end. Flaw. High security can still be breached with heavy tools. Explosives or betrayal by neighbors. Community defense and hiding. Armed neighborhoods. Poor communities who cannot afford luxury or security rely on trap numbers, barricading apartment complexes, patrolling rooftops, and setting traps. Staying off the streets. Most smart citizens avoid open areas completely to dodge armed purge tourists, snipers, and psychotic gangs roaming the cities. Guerrilla tactics. Characters like Leo Barnes in The Purge allegedly survive by using tactical gear, military training, constant movement, and utilizing safe houses. Alright. The destruction of the Edomites on their mountains is a prominent prophetic theme in the Old Testament, particularly in the book of Obadiah and Ezekiel 35. God judged Edom for their pride, for their black pride. I don't care if you have smooth form, if you're dark, light, if you live in a black neighborhood, you got it in you. You're either Edom or you're not. You got it in you. Self-reliance in their Rocky Mountain strongholds, such as Petra, violence against their brother nation, Israel. Biblical prophecies on Edom's fall. Impenetrable pride. Edomites lived in high crags and Mount Seir, thinking no one could reach them. But God stated he would bring them down from their nest among the stars. High crags and Mount Seir. That's the mountains. Beverly Hills. Black Beverly Hills, right? Slaughter on the mountains. Passages like Obadiah 1:8 and Ezekiel 35 explicitly state that God would destroy the wise men, mighty men, and inhabitants from the mountains of Esau, filling the hills and valleys within the fallen. Total desolation. Prophecies declared that their land would be made an empty, blood-stained wasteland where towns would remain uninhabited. Okay. Where do the majority of American people live? I know it says, where do most black people live. Focused on what I typed and what I'm saying. Where do most American, I know it says black, but you get the point. Where do most American people live in the U.S.? More than half of the American people in the United States live in the South. The French, British, Irish, based on U.S. Census Bureau data. States with the highest total black population. Oh, I messed up. Now you know the hint. American population are Texas, Florida, and Georgia. While major metropolitan areas like the Caribbean island and, Rome host the largest overall numbers. States with the most American residents. Texas, 3.9 million. Let's go to TikTok. Right. First, we're going to type Texas population. Texas has an estimated population approximately 31.7 million residents. Alright. We just asked, where do most black people live in the U.S.? It says it's only 3.9 million. But it's 31 people in Texas. Where do majority of people live in Texas? 68% live in Dallas, Houston, San Antonio. Let's go to TikTok. Let's type Houston, Texas. Alright, see a Latino woman. See black, mixed people, black, black, Hispanic, Latino, black, Hispanic, Latino, black, Hispanic, Latino, one white person. Life in Houston, pretty sure it means he moved to Houston. But you just see straight black and mixed, but you don't see any white people. So this is a lie. All right. We're not even gonna do all. We're just gonna do. Okay, so where do Americans live? Florida. All right. Florida. Miami. Ooh, it's a big one. Let's just type Miami. See what it shows. Negroes, Latin, Negroes. You see some whites, but they're on vacation. Negroes. You just see Negroes. I mean, see Latinos too. You see people on vacation, just showing people on vacation, but Now we're gonna do Georgia, King George, right? If you know why I'm not gonna type in it. I'm just gonna go ahead and type it. I don't even gotta Google that. Guess who it show? Negroes. What are they doing? Walking around with their shirt off. Spirit of Egypt. Oh, they're actually exercising, but that ain't gonna be enough to stop what's coming. Twerking. Negro. Negroes. What is it? What did I type? Texas, was it Georgia population? 11.3. They said how many people are black? Only 3.5? And are you serious? Hold up. Let's type what's the second highest? Macon. Let's do Macon. Look at this. Negroes. And they see the white dude. He's on vacation. Let's type Augusta. Let's type Savannah. Just see nothing but Negroes. Alright, so we just proved we don't even gotta do New York. That's listen. This okay. I'm just trying to show you how many people are gonna be gone. Where do most of the wealthy people live in the South with beautiful homes? Palm Beach, Florida, Naples, Kauai, Carolina. Look at this. Atlanta suburbs. Let's go type Atlanta suburbs. Atlanta suburbs. Look at this. Okay. Now we're gonna get to the real videos. Let's go.
By 2027, ICE will be much more powerful than people imagine. I think they want to deploy the National Guard to all major cities in America because they're preparing for economic collapse, they're preparing for financial collapse, they're preparing for the national draft, and they will need law enforcement and National Guard in all the major cities, especially in democratic cities like Los Angeles and Boston and Chicago, where they expect the resistance to be the greatest. By 2027, all the ingredients for civil war should already be in place. I don't mean actually, two militaries fighting each other, but I'm saying like nationwide discontent and riots and protests and insurgencies. Okay, so this is gonna be low-level conflict, but it's gonna be what the civil war will look like for the next few years. The global economy should have collapsed by 2027. So JP Morgan has reports saying that the world will run out of oil by the end of this month.
And that's because of the closing of the Strait of Hormuz.
That's right, because of the closing of the Strait of Hormuz.
This morning, the Department of Homeland Security filing notice it plans to spend up to $20 million on specialized gloves agents can use to potentially incapacitate someone with an electric shock simply by touching them.
Give me your hands. Give me your hands. Oh!
The technology called the glove, or generated low output voltage emitter, seen here in a demonstration from the manufacturer, Compliant Technologies.
So if I was back here and I'm working with Wyatt and he started to struggle with me, I would say, Wyatt,
A product manual recommends avoiding the device's use on the elderly, small children, pregnant women, and the severely handicapped. Civil rights groups like the ACLU already raising alarms, and the state of New York vowing to take legal action if the gloves are misused.
Appears to me on its face to be a violation of civil rights, to cause that kind of physical harm to an individual, regardless of what the offense may be.
DHS calls the gloves de-escalation devices, saying our officers are highly trained in de-escalation tactics and regularly receive ongoing use of force training.
Are you following this?
But it comes after ICE's tactics are again under a microscope, after Virginia mother Carolina Molina says an ICE officer, seen here in video Molina recorded, brandished his gun, accusing her of trying to run them over, which she says is false.
There was a shock when I saw him pull in front of me and take the gun out because as he's walking up, the gun is already out, and then he starts pointing it at me.
In a statement, the Department of Homeland Security...
This is honestly your first step, and if you do not know what this is your United States passport book, and this is your ticket to the world.
Had to mute because of the music, but yeah. You know what he's saying.
One really violent day, like a guy like Mike Kelly, put him in charge. Congressman Kelly, put him in charge for one day. Mike, would you say, he's right here. He's a great congressman. Would you say it's a chain of events that's so bad. One rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it will end immediately. End immediately.
Before I show this video, well, actually, let's go ahead and show the video.
We're talking about what would happen if the purge was in real life, and I had to explain to him, like, yo, the movies, that shit is not real. Like, obviously it's a movie, but do you know what would happen during the first purge? Half of the U.S. population gone. At least half. It's gonna be a group of men trying to do some things to women. It's gonna be a group of people, anybody. It's gonna be mass genocide. The shit will be worse than Thanos snapping his fucking fingers. Like, people are going to wild the fuck out. Any crime is legal for 12 hours and you have a year to prepare. Motherfuckers are going to be getting rocket launchers. Trying to go after.
I can't play the entire video because music, but I want to show you what comments that I got in the video. Anthony Davis. Ah ha ha ha. You funny, my guy. AD. And look, when you look in the screen, that's a Negro. You funny, my God. That's a Negro. That's a Negro too. He's telling you, like, y'all don't understand what's coming. Y'all worried about him being Anthony Davis. Y'all laughing. Right? Y'all don't even know what's about to happen. So let's get back to it. I want you to focus on, well, I gotta play this part though.
Go after the one percenters, because the one percenters obviously have all the money. They are just going to be from people trying to go after the one percenters, because the death counts are just going to be from people trying to go after the one percenters.
You already said going after the one percenters. Let me show you. I'm gonna show you who is gonna go after the one percenters. Well, actually, let me show you who the one percenters are. I'm gonna read this again. Where do most of the wealthy people live? Google. Where do most of the people live in the South with beautiful homes? Atlanta suburbs, Alpharetta, Milton, Buckhead. Do I have to show? Do I have to show?
Hey, so listen, bro.
Do I have to show? Look at this. Look at Alpharetta. What is it? Milton. Negroes. All right. So on that day, and who we just realized of who's going to be attacked. Now let's see who's going to be doing the attacking. This is going to be doing attacking. Yeah, Arkansas. Right? Well, you keep seeing the most racist towns. It's just white towns. They're white towns. These are the people with clones that are going to be doing the attackings. You don't see them. Now, there might be some black towns, but you don't see no racist black town. Not saying that the black towns are racist. I'm just trying to show you who's going to be doing the attacking. And who's going to be attacked. I showed you right here. The majority of people of America. Edom. Listen. I told my parents this. You know what they said? I tell them all the time, but you know what? You know what one of them said? I ain't gonna say their name or the name. They laughed at me, and guess what? Guess what they told me? They told me, "Who are you listening to? Who are you listening to? I need to find out who you listen to." Ha ha ha. They're scaring your mind. Yeah. Like I said, to people who survived the purges in the movie, right? I already showed you how they survived right here, using high-end home security systems. The home I'm in right now, the people I live under, do not have a high home security system. Hiding in fortified shelters. What in the world is that? I know what it is, but we're gonna type in shelters. Oh, underground. Underground. Nobody the houses I live in, under their roof, they're not going underground. Fleeing the country. They're not going anywhere. Cause look, I'm not saying that I'm beat them, but it's in me. I could be. I don't know. I'm not too strong on. Listen, I live in I'm in a house, an area where it's was talking about this. Edomites being destroyed in the mountains, man. They're not leaving the country. They're not leaving because they have black pride. We're fighting back with weapons. The home I'm in, guns are they're bad. They're scary. They it's bad. It's bad. So what's gonna happen if somebody comes to the house and you're not ready, screaming for your life? And you said I don't know how long it's, you said 6 months, a year ago, that they were scary. Now when someone coming at your door, you're screaming for your life. Read this again. In the Purge movies, it's gonna be worse than the movies. People survive the 12-hour. I think it's gonna be 24 hours. Annual lawless period by high-end security home security systems. Edom destroyed right pride. Ain't nothing gonna bring them down. I don't need 50 cameras on my house. Black pride, right? I don't need no 50 cameras. I'm black and proud. Hiding in fortified shelters. Most of us can't. I didn't even know what fortified meant. Most of us don't even know what a fortified shelter is, and not gonna build one. Cause we trying to go live in the apartments, the skyscrapers, fleeing the country. A lot of us are doing this, but when you flee, you don't come back. I'm gonna say it. So this is not vacation. This is not vacate. This is I'm out. That's it. Not coming back. Don't come back. That's it. Some of us might not be able to go. But if you don't have a house, you need to find a way to get out. Or fighting back with weapons. I know people say, well, I seen my homeboy with a gun. I seen my boy with an AK. I seen... Listen. Half of us have never hunted a day in our life. Half of us have never went to the woods and camped with bears. Most of us don't even know the entire the entire parts of a gun. Have never been to a gun range. Nobody in my house has ever went to a gun range. Has never been in the woods hunting. Alright? So, I think the best bet would be the flee in the country, the weapon, then the hiding. and then the home. So reason to flee is number one, because you're definitely gonna stay alive another 10 years if you leave at the right time. Next, what I say was next, weapons. At least you get to defend yourself. But the problem is, the reason not number one is because you're gonna be going. So you might be going against an entire group of military, and they might have specialized guns in their pin. They're not gonna miss their pinpoints. You're gonna need armor. Hiding in fortified, like I told you. The fortified shelter is not first because most of us can't afford to build all that, and then who's last using high end security. They could just flamethrow your house. They could just burn your house down. They could shoot with a rocket. Listen.